I like the man personally. I think he knows basketball. I don't think his team is unprepared. What I do believe, and this is just based on my experience as a journalist covering sports for the last 27 years, I can tell when you don't seem to have the pulse of your team. We got to understand something, that when you're talking sports, particularly the sport of basketball, Larry Brown, the great Larry Brown, who I'm hoping ends up in Indiana with my brother Mike Woodson, who just became the head coach for the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations, Mike Woodson.
Last time the Knicks won a division title, he was their head coach.
And then gone for some reason.
How about that? Here's the deal. When you look at Brad Stevens, who's won 55.7% of his games as head coach of the Boston Celtics and has taken them to the conference finals on at least 2 occasions, 3 occasions actually, here's what we have to pay attention to. You look at players like Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you know they ain't going anywhere. These brothers can play. And they only 22 and 24 respectively. They ain't going anywhere, okay? Kemba Walker, obviously his health has been compromised to some degree. There's something missing there right now. You could say the same with Marcus Smart to a lesser degree, but I don't know if that's an issue. When I look at the Boston Celtics and I look at Coach Stevens, there does come a point in time where, do they hear you? Are you able to peel, max potential out of them, whatever they got inside of them? Are you able to pull it out? There are times when you look at a coach and you say, X and O's, Y's, do you know what you're doing? Are you making the right decisions during game time, stuff like that? But I don't question any of that with Brad Stevens. What I see is a guy that's talking to the players, and the players are just not listening. They're not necessarily buying in. And that's what you have to pay attention to. They're going to do their jobs. They're going to be professional. There's not a shortage of effort or anything like that. But I'm talking about the kind of coach like Pat Riley. You hear the stories about Pat Riley. Pat Riley once dug his head underwater in a bucket, an ice bucket, and put his head under there. Everybody thought he was going to kill himself or whatever because of how long he stayed there. Damn near losing his breath and dug his head out of there. This is what it takes. This is the kind of adversity you got to pull yourself up. That's just one thing. There's several coaches who have won that find a way to do things.
I have a question about what you're saying, just for clarification.
Sure.
Are you saying that Brad Stevens, after a while, a dude spends enough time in a situation, it becomes white noise?
Yes.
No pun intended.
Yes.
Right? Or are you saying he's not a good enough motivator?
No, I'm saying the former. I'm saying it just becomes white noise, to use your phrase. That's what it is. And when you got players that young, you got to get Danny Ainge got to get veterans around them. That'll help. But you, as a coach, knowing what you're working with, you've got to be able to make sure that it ain't just noise to them. And Brad Stevens this year doesn't strike me to be that guy. So, again, I'm not advocating that the man not be a head coach, that he's not a worthy head coach in the NBA, that he wouldn't do a good job for a lot of different teams, because he's done a good job on Boston. But based on the personnel you have, the fact that they're not going anywhere, it's perceived. I interviewed Jayson Tatum on SportsCenter, my NBA show SportsCenter with Stephen A. And Jayson Tatum put it on himself and the players. He said, it's our job, it's our job. But the bottom line is, if you're the coach, what are you there for if you can't peel that out of them? And I don't see that in Brad Stevens. And that's why I think if things continue to go this way, Danny Ainge is going to need to move in a different direction.
They have some dispiriting losses this year where and Coach mentioned it. Brad Stevens mentioned it after the game.
Yeah.
Whenever the adversity is going to come. Basketball's a game of runs. What are you going to do when it comes? Celtics fold, right?
Yeah.
Coach can't give you heart. He can put you in a better position to win. I think Brad Stevens, people should have their eye on Brad Stevens. People should have their eye on Danny Ainge. The same way I go after Brian Cashman as Yankees GM. Excellent GM. But not the best in baseball. Why don't the Yankees have the best one in baseball? If I'm a Celtics fan with their tradition, I'm going, yeah, Ainge is really good, but their guy's better than him. Why don't we have one of those guys? I like the best GM. He's won one championship as a GM, and it was in a league where there were no other super teams. He had a super team, won one season.
Yeah.
So I think Ainge deserves responsibility. So does Brad Stevens. So do the players. Now, Stevens has to put him in a better position. But let me tell you something about the way this roster's constructed. Their best shooters, the guys you want catch and shooting, don't get to take easy shots like that. Because all three guys, Kemba and Tatum and Brown, create their own shots and then shoot, right, including from the outside. So they're constantly, all three of them, playing a kind of ISO basketball where they have to take and hit difficult shots. That is on the coach. That is also on the construction of the roster. So you got to look at Danny Ainge too. And take it a step further, they got talent on this team. It's not a bad team in terms of talent. It's not amazing. It's not overwhelming. There are teams in the East with more talent than them. I'm looking at Ainge every bit as much as I'm looking at Coach.
Well, here's why I don't look at him every bit as much. Even though he deserves some culpability, make no mistake about it. He's also the guy that hired Brad Stevens, who was doing a good job for the most part in his career. He drafted Jayson Tatum, pulled off the heist with Philadelphia.
He's good GM.
Switching picks. He's a damn good executive. We got to give credit where credit is due in that regard. Here's the important part that I think we have to pay attention to, though. When you look at the players themselves, again, you've got young players. You got a coach. Remember, Pat Riley, Stan Van Gundy had taken the Miami Heat to the Eastern Conference Finals. The very next year, being the intense Stan that he is, no one would question Stan Van Gundy's basketball acumen. But Pat Riley looked at his personnel, Shaquille O'Neal, a young Dwayne Wade, Alonzo Mourning and those boys, and Pat Riley said, you got to go. I got to coach this team and coach them to the championship. Dwayne Wade, last 4 games against Dallas, averaging 37.
Michael Jordan.
I mean, it was unreal. But the point is, that's what you have to do sometimes. Not that that's the case here with this squad, because Pat Riley looked at this championship squad, knew he had enough. They just needed to have the right pulse, touched. In this case, that may not be the case with Boston. But in the end, when we look at Brad Stevens, it's your job as a coach to make sure you got the pulse of your team. And when I look at him, and especially during timeouts and I'm watching, just look at the guys. He's got their heads down.
They got bad body language in the second half of games.
They're not feeling him. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.